Hi, we're your hosts. I'm David O'Brien.
And I'm Kylie McGovern. Welcome back to the Collegian Pod.
Today we're going to play a game that we're excited to introduce to the Collegian podcast.
Hot and cold takes. And our producer, Emily, is going to be giving us topics to have these hot and cold takes on.
Fire the first one off, Emily.
Music.
All right. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
All right. Cold take. Everyone loves music. And if you don't love music, you're a weirdo. Hot take. Classical music is the pinnacle of all music. And if not classical music, jazz. And I say that to someone who doesn't listen to jazz.
Hot take. People usually think their taste in music is better than it actually is.
It's so true.
Cold take. There should be music played in, every public space ever. You should never be, in a grocery store and it's silent. In a restaurant and there's no music playing.
I feel like it's, flipped around for me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so sick of, going to a park and someone's, blasting music because it's, I'm in a park. You know? It, makes me annoyed. And same with, grocery stores where I'm, having a conversation and it's just, you have this music, blaring. And it's always, the same 80s music, too.
But, it's so awkward if you're, eating in a restaurant and it's, no music.
I feel like it's not that weird. Well,
Agree to disagree.
I guess the real hot takes are the friends you make along the way. What's the next one?
Celebrities and or fame.
I went first last time.
Hot take, I wouldn't want it for myself. Cold take, everyone who is a celebrity, wants that for themselves. They, want to be famous.
I think cold take is that a lot of celebrities don't deserve, the money they have or, their position. And my hot take is, I think celebrity worship is dumb. And I know everyone says that, but I think deep down a lot of people don't feel that way. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like when people are can you believe this happened X, Y, and Z? I'm okay.
If you're reposting someone who has 1 million plus followers on Instagram, reposting their post onto your story, that's too much obsession with celebrity, I feel like. They're gonna see it anyway.
That's so true. They are gonna see it. It's you don't have to tell me.
I'm guilty of this too. I'm look at Taylor Swift. I'm gonna put this on my Instagram story, but anyone who wants to see it, already saw it.
Yeah, well, I reposted when Bob Saget died. And it's we all know.
Yeah, people
know.
know.
That's so true. And it's also, who cares? You know? At the end of the day, it's good for, Taylor Swift or Bob Saget or whatever. Well, not good for him. But, okay. It doesn't, affect my life.
I feel like this is a statement on social media now, but continue.
It kind of is.
I
I feel like the majority of stuff like that, it's this literally doesn't affect me at all. And I guess this is I'm one of those people who says social media is dumb and I try and delete it and then I give up because I'm lazy. But it's stupid. You know, it's not, and there is stuff on social media that's cool. When you're cousin or something as a kid and you're wow, that's really awesome. I'm gonna call them and talk about it. But when I see something that's oh my god, Euphoria season 2, that's crazy. And I'm yeah, I know, you know?
Exactly.
So, that's just that. That's my hot take.
Single-sex education.
What does that mean?
I
understand what sex education is, but what's singles?
Single-sex education is private girls' school, private boys' school. Not sexual education.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, cold take, I wouldn't want to do a single gender or sex school. That kind of sucks. I went to public school and I didn't have to deal with that. Hot take is I feel this isn't that hot of a take, but I feel the majority of people who go to those kind of schools are completely different than kids who went to public school. Do you know what I mean? And I know you went to girls' school. I know that, but you have to admit there's a different culture in it, and you there's definitely different personality traits where it's that guy went to public school, you know?
My hot take is that it is one of the most beneficial things that young men or women can experience, especially in such a gendered and sexually charged time of their life, to be educated in a format which in a heteronormative setting is they are just focused on their education and they're not focused on the boy that sits next to them in chemistry. I think that's very beneficial to young minds. Cold take is that it should be more accessible.
Yeah, it definitely should be more accessible. I don't know. I feel I'm pretty happy it was everyone was kind of together. And I feel it made it less weird. I feel it's a lot harder to speak to the opposite gender if you're never around them. So it's having that public school format kind of makes it easier. right?
But, like, I feel like as a testimony, I don't feel like that. I feel like if you're, like, don't know how to talk to people, you don't know how to talk to people. And just because you, like, say you went to all boys school, like, that doesn't mean the only place you ever go only has men.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Also, like, from, like, a feminine perspective, I think that I was very championed as a young woman, and I was, like, only ever surrounded by girls who were, like, achieving these great things. And so, like, that became the norm in my mind, and I feel like that's something that you wouldn't experience in every environment. You know?
Fair enough.
Originality.
Cold take.
We're getting
Not
into
enough
it.
people are original. That's definitely a cold take. Hot take. Originality is not praised. Like, people aren't happy when people are original. I feel like most original people are, like, kind of, like, ostracized. Or they're at least, like, kind of weird. But it's, like, major props for just being yourself. Like, like...
That's what we were talking about at dinner. Authenticity.
Yeah, like, authenticity comes with originality. And I think it deserves a lot more praise. Even though people act like it's like, oh, everyone wants an original. It's like, no, you don't. You know? Like, most people are not praised for that.
Yeah. My hot take on that is a lot of people are scared to be original, even though they'll put up this facade that they're trying to be original. Cold take. I want to agree with yours, is that it should be praised.
That was my hot take. My cold take was there isn't enough.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone.
On behalf of the viewers, we forgive you.
Cold take is that people should be original.
Yeah.
Then there's mine.
Okay, the next one is friends or friends versus acquaintances.
Oh, okay. That's a
this.
good question. Yeah.
These are great, Emily.
These are
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah. Do you want to go?
Yes. Wait. Okay. Hot take. No, this is so not a hot take. Cold take. 4 quarters are better than 100 pennies. Like, I'd rather have 4 friends than 100 acquaintances.
I like that saying.
You've
I've never heard that before.
Oh, I love it. Hot take. It's okay to be acquaintances with people. You don't have to be friends with everyone.
So true. Like, yeah, 100%. I feel like there's so many people you meet who are like, why don't they like me? And it's like, who gives a shit? Pardon my French.
Or they're like, why don't we hang out?
We can have a giant boop in the thing.
They're like, why don't we hang out more? Like, it's okay, like, not to gel with every single person you met, but, like, they are your acquaintance. You know them. Like, you say hi to them.
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's so many people who, like, I'm acquaintances with, and you can be friendly with them.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you can hang out, you can have a good time, but it's like, you don't have to be, like, my best friend. You know? It's like, it's fine. Yeah. I have my hot take. I'm trying to think of my cold take still. My hot take is definitely that, like, you can stop being friends with someone, and it's, like, not that deep. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but it's like, if you're not, like, friends, like, if you don't feel comfortable in, like, that kind of environment, like, if you're not going to tell someone, like, personal aspects of yourself, it's okay, and it's fine. And it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, that's what, like, friendship is. Like, you should never feel forced into friendship. And, like, obviously, like my other one, it's, like, yeah, like, you can say that. But I think a lot of people, like, when they have to come up to bat, like, they're not willing to hit the ball when it comes to that, you know? Like, a lot of people are so desperate to be around the same people all the time because they feel, like, a sense of, like, I don't know, like, comfort, I guess, and, like, need to be around that group of people. But it's, like, you don't, and it's okay. Like, it's fine to just look someone and be like, listen, man, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just not, like, I just don't really feel comfortable doing that. And that's completely fine. My cold take is... Yeah, I mean, yours is pretty good. Was your cold take the quarters and pennies one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I completely agree. Like, your friends, it's all about quality, not quantity. My grandmother actually always says to me, like, as long as you can always find one good friend, like, that's all you need. And I think that's so true. It's like, I mean, I like to think I'm pretty friendly with a lot of people, and I know a lot of people, but at the end of the day, there's, like, definitely a select few people I would actually have, like, a full-blown, like, personal friend conversation with. Or, like, if I actually needed something, I would call them, because I know, like, they would help me out.
An acquaintance wouldn't, too.
An acquaintance, like, maybe would, but it's like, if I need someone to, like, pick me up from the airport, you know, like, that's more than, like, an acquaintance thing.
True.
You know what I mean?
What do you think about being, like, the concept, like, be your own best friend?
Like, yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, 100%, yeah. I think, well, this is a whole different topic, and you and I have talked about this before, where it's like, you do have to be your own best friend.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no one else is going to be able to do that. Like, if you can't look out for yourself, like, you can't put that on someone else, as well as, like, expect to be happy unless you do that. Like, you do have to be your own best friend no matter what.
I agree.
Traditions.
This is a good one.
You want to go first?
Yeah, my hot take is traditions are so a lot of this is one of those things where I feel like it could go either way because it's either a hot or a cold take depending on who you are. My hot take is traditions are good to a point, which is like all right, yeah, but it's like I think a lot of people are willing to like smash every tradition in their life over like nothing. Or, like, hold on to it for dear life. Like, there's no, like, middle ground with a lot of people. And I think traditions hold an incredibly important value. And I think throughout my own life, like, I have lost certain traditions. And I've, like, created new ones. And I'm very thankful to have them. But you also have to be willing to let go if you really have to. So, I guess it's not really that hot of a take. But I think I can think of a few people who it's just, like, let it go, or like, bro, like, you don't have to think that way. Like, there's certain people, like, if you're in, like, a political science class, it's like, that tradition doesn't exist. Or it's like, move on, you know? So, and then my cold take for traditions is some people can be very overbearing about theirs, and it's like, hey, stop. And everyone can agree with that.
I think hot take, despite, like, dark pasts and histories of some traditions, like, in any aspect, like, they can be turned into a good thing. I don't know why I first thought of Thanksgiving. But like, well,
no, I mean, that's a great example.
Like, maybe not a great thing at the start, but like it's become something good, and I don't think we can like sit around and be like, I don't like Thanksgiving because like it's like dark history, but like you can like to eat turkey with your family.
I completely agree. Yeah, like that's something that I feel like should be said more. Like just because something started off poorly, like it's not about how something's created, it's about how it's done. Yes. You know, and that goes with a lot of things. Like a lot of things, like when they were around or when they were created, it was like for nefarious reasons. But like it's about how you use them in the future. So like yeah, it's like have turkey with your family. Like it can be a nice thing. It doesn't have to be about, you know, like genocide.
Exactly. So.
Genocide is bad though. God does not support genocide.
We have to agree. I have to agree as well. Genocide, pretty not cool.
My cold take is, I think David began to say this, but like there are definitely traditions that are meant to be broken. And like no matter in what regard that is, like you're allowed to do things differently than the people who came before you have done that. A lot of times on my For You page, I see people that are like 5 non-traditional things I did at my wedding. And I think some of those are awesome. And I like think, I'm like, hey, that's cool. And I want to break the tradition of like doing whatever is not that.
I love stories like that. Like I like those like courthouse weddings people have. It's like major props, you know? Like that stuff's cool. Yeah.
Something that I've seen on this is like, I don't know why I'm on like wedding TikTok, but it's like people are like, I walked myself down the aisle, or like that's an example of it.
Yeah, that's good.
So
I mean,
some are meant to be broken.
That's also like empowering.
Yeah.
You know? Like yeah. All right, we're ready for the next one.
Uniforms.
Cold take. I don't like them. Hot take. This is also a cold take. I was gonna say some uniforms look really dumb. Yeah, I'm gonna flip it around. Cold take. Some uniforms look really dumb. Like, you know when you know what's a good example? When you watch like Stranger Things, they work at like the ice cream place. They have to wear that like stupid costume. Mm-hmm. It's like there are some places like that still, and it's like, why? Like, why are you doing that? Like, A, it's humiliating to the staff. B, I feel like at this point it just makes everyone there uncomfortable. Like, I've never like seen someone in like who has to like when you go to like Sonic or something and they have to wear like the roller skates. I know some people think that's cool, but it's like I feel like it's like demeaning to the people working there, and it like makes me uncomfortable. And then my hot take is, I mean, I think uniforms are dumb, and I don't think you should have to wear them in a lot of places, but I also think there should still be like a dress code relative to it.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take.
My hot take is that uniforms can be a very good equalizer, like regardless of like how it is. Obviously, like I don't want people to be like humiliated on rollerblades, but like in a workplace, like I think it can be a good way to like take pressure off of appearance when everyone is like wearing the same type of thing.
That's fair.
Cold take. Sometimes uniforms are not body inclusive and they are made for like one type of person, and I think that's bad.
Yeah, like Hooters, like that's messed up.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Astrology.
Hot take. This is going to be surprising. I feel like a lot of people don't think this, but I believe in astrology. Like, Not in the way where it's like, oh, I'm like a sun Aquarius, like I hate you. But I think like movements of planetary bodies do affect the Earth in a lot of different ways, and I think that can affect individuals in a lot of different ways. Like you know how like the moon affects tides? Like that is bound to then affect like people's feelings surrounding events. You know, like the moon changing its tide to lead to like a tidal wave is going to then affect you throughout the day because you have to deal with the tidal wave. And I think,
fair.
Yeah, but like I feel like on a smaller scale that also makes sense. Where there's like studies where it shows like animals can detect like the electromagnetic changes of certain planets. So I think astrology does exist. I think it's to the extent where it's like, oh, like it says, I have to marry this person now, and you're like, all right, but it's like to a small extent. That's my hot take. My cold take is some people are really annoying about astrology, and it's like, please just leave me alone.
I'm gonna do my cold take first. I think cold take, it's lots of fun to be like, oh, I'm a Libra and my friend's a Capricorn and it means this about us. Or like, it says that like my something is aligned and I'm gonna have a great day. Like that's so fun. But I think hot take, people do internalize it too much and they're like, my co-star said I'm gonna have a bad day, so now I'm gonna like put myself in that attitude and then have a bad day.
Yeah, like you're predicting it for yourself, so you're going to make it happen. Yeah.
All right, next one, the word home, like the term.
You are so good at this.
Cold take, home is where your heart is. Hot take, not every house can be a home. Some of them just have like bad vibes.
Yeah. Cold take, home is a feeling, not a place. I feel like this is us just like affirming cliches.
Yeah, like 100%.
But like that's
fine.
fun. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, this goes back to earlier. Some traditions meant to stay. Like these cliches are traditional and they're accurate, and that's that. Classics are a classic for a reason.
Yeah, and then I think hot take. Hot take. You're allowed to feel uncomfortable in a place that you like once thought was your home. Or like felt like this is like where I belong. You're allowed to be like move and grow from that, and it's like okay that like you're like elementary school isn't always going to be your home. Like a city isn't always going to be your home. Whatever, you like grow and evolve, and that's okay.
Yeah, and this goes back to earlier. Not to be like, I feel like I'm talking a lot, but like I feel like it goes back to it is
your grandma's going to be mad.
Yeah, I'm sure. She'll be mad anyway. Sorry, but yeah, no, I feel like. This kind of goes back to the friend thing where it's like you have to be willing to let go of a lot of things. And home is just another facet of that. So.
All right, our last one of the night. Modern art.
Ooh. Do you want to go?
Yes. Hot take, if you're smart enough to like, you're the one that's smart enough to put this modern art like nuanced thing on paper and like people like it, like power to you. Like I don't think people should be like, that's just a spot on a canvas. Like they're so dumb because it's like you didn't put the spot on the canvas, you know. But cold take, sometimes I think that people are scammed on the internet by things that are like called modern art, and it's really just someone who's like having their baby like color and they're like selling it on eBay.
Yeah. So my hot take is gonna be art is whatever you feel art is. Like if you look at a sheet of paper and you feel like it's art and it's just blank, like power to you. Like major props. Like yeah, good for you. Like anything can be interpretive. I believe all art is subjective, which a lot of people disagree with. But I remember I got in a very heated debate with an English teacher at LaSalle about that once. I believe all art is subjective, including modern art. But my cold take is like it should not be profited on if it's like stupid. You know, like when you go to a museum or something, you see like a paper bag or you see like a dot on a sheet of paper. It's like I don't know how much money they made, but they shouldn't have. You know, that's my cold take.
But that's literally my hot take. It's like
yeah, I disagree. Your hot take was so hot that I actively disagree with it.
You were like cold.
Yeah. Well, my cold take is the reverse.
Yeah.
So that's how you know it's successful. Yeah.
All right.
So there we go. That is the podcast. If you would like to contact either of us, you can reach me at O'BrienD10 at lasalle.edu.
It's McGovern K8 at lasalle.edu.
Or you can message the Collegian Instagram account or the Collegian email address, which is on the website. I don't know what it is exactly. And yeah, major props. A shout out to our producer Emily for coming up with these great topics.
Show yourself.
No, it's okay.
Please.
We'll make sure she's on the future episode. And yeah, that's that.
Thank you.
Thank you.